Welcome, Neo. I'm Victoria from Weaviate. As you may have guessed, I'm here today to show you Elysia, our new agentic RAG framework. Take a seat. This is your last chance, Neo. After this, there's no going back. You take the blue pill, your story ends. You wake up in your bed believing whatever you want to believe about simple vector searches. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and you find out just how deep the rabbit hole of agentic RAG goes.
Meet Elysia, the agentic RAG system. Normally, AI has this habit of sounding way too confident. You ask it a tricky question, and it gives you an answer with such authority that you almost believe it, until you realize the response doesn't actually make sense. It crumbles the moment you push past the surface. That's been the story with most retrieval-augmented generation systems, RAG for short. You load your documents, connect them to a language model, and hope it gives you something useful. But more often than not, you get vague, irrelevant, or even hallucinated nonsense. That's where a brand new system called Elysia comes in. And honestly, it feels like a complete rethink of how agentic RAG should work. Instead of being a black box that spits out questionable answers, Elysia is transparent. It shows you every step of its reasoning, adapts how it displays results, depending on the type of data you're working with, and even learns from your feedback so it gets better the more you use it. And here's the wild part. It's free, it's open source, and you can actually run it yourself today. Now, Elysia wasn't built by some random startup chasing buzzwords. It's from the team at Weaviate, who you probably know for their vector database work. They decided to tackle RAG's core problem head-on: the fact that most systems are basically blind. They just grab embeddings, run a similarity search, and pray that the results are relevant. That's not good enough. So instead, Elysia introduces something completely different: a structured decision-making framework that gives the AI actual context for every step it takes. Imagine this. Instead of throwing a pile of tools at a model and saying, "Good luck," Elysia organizes them into a decision tree. Each step is a node with defined actions, and the system keeps track of where it's been, what it's trying now, and what options are still available. If the data doesn't match your request, say you ask for car prices, but the dataset only has makeup products, it doesn't waste time making something up. It just flags it as impossible and moves on. And if it pulls back junk search results, it adjusts the terms, loosens the filters, and tries again intelligently. In other words, you get a reasoning process you can actually follow instead of a mystery box. And Elysia doesn't just change how it reasons, but also how it shows you results. Most AI tools spit out walls of text no matter what kind of data you're working with. Elysia is smarter. If it sees you're working with e-commerce data, it presents product cards. If you're digging through GitHub issues, you get clean ticket layouts. If it's spreadsheets, you see actual tables. Right now there are 7 display modes: tables, product cards, tickets, conversation logs, documents, charts, and a generic view. But the team is already talking about future formats like hotel booking or Slack thread displays. The point is simple. The output matches the dataset, making results more natural to work with. But here's the part that really grabbed me. Before Elysia even starts searching, it takes time to understand your data environment. It samples collections, generates summaries, and maps out relationships in advance. So when you finally ask a question, it isn't scrambling blindly. It already has a sense of what's in there. That's a big deal, because one of the biggest weaknesses in older systems like Weaviate's own Verba was that they struggled with overlapping data or ambiguous queries. Elysia fixes that by building data awareness up front. Now, layered on top of all this are some extra features that make Elysia feel genuinely useful. Instead of just another research project, feedback is a great example. In most AI systems, when you hit thumbs up or thumbs down, you never really know if anything changed. Elysia actually stores your feedback as its own dataset inside your Weaviate instance. Then, when you ask a similar question later, it uses your past ratings as few-shot examples. That means even smaller models can improve over time because they're anchored to answers you already liked. And importantly, your feedback stays yours. It doesn't bleed into anyone else's experience. Another pain point Elysia solves is document chunking. If you've worked with RAG, you know pre-chunking documents is a nightmare. You burn storage and often split content in ways that break meaning. Elysia flips the process. It searches documents whole first and only chunks them when necessary. If a document looks relevant but is too long, then it breaks it into pieces, stores those chunks in a linked collection, and reuses them later. It's more efficient, more storage-friendly, and honestly just smarter. And let's not forget cost control. Elysia can route tasks to different models based on complexity. If you're asking something simple, it doesn't waste tokens on GPT-4 or Gemini. It uses a lightweight model instead. But if the query requires deep reasoning, it escalates. By default, the team has been leaning on Gemini for its context window and reliability, but the framework is flexible. You can plug in OpenAI, Anthropic, Cohere, even local models. The recommended path is using OpenRouter for easy multi-model access, but the choice is yours. Take a look.
So as I mentioned, Elysia is our open source agentic RAG framework that we've built to go beyond traditional text-in, text-out chatbots. It uses a decision tree-based architecture that intelligently selects tools, dynamically displays data in optimal formats, and provides complete transparency into its decision-making process. The system connects to your Weaviate cluster, automatically generating search parameters from natural language and displaying results in contextually appropriate formats. It's built with a fast API backend and pure blood, sweat, and tears Python core logic using a DSPy for LLM interactions, plus everything comes in a single pip installable package. You can use it as a full-featured end-to-end web app or use it as a Python library by just importing it into your Python files. What really sets Elysia apart, though, are the three core components that we haven't seen combined in any other open source agentic framework. The first thing is decision trees and decision agents. At Elysia's heart is its decision tree architecture. Unlike simple agentic platforms that have access to all possible tools at runtime, Elysia has a predefined web of possible nodes, each with a corresponding action. Each node is orchestrated by a decision agent with global context awareness about its environment and available options. This tree structure enables advanced error handling and completion conditions. For example, when tools encounter errors, maybe due to connection issues or typos in generated queries, these get caught and propagated back through the decision tree. The decision agent can then make intelligent choices about whether to retry with corrections or try a different approach entirely. This structure gives developers a lot of flexibility. You can add custom tools and branches, making the tree as complex or as simple as needed. The front end also displays the entire decision tree as it's traversed, letting you watch the LLM's reasoning with each node as it processes your query in real time. This means you can understand exactly why the agent made particular choices and fix issues when they arise.
Other AI assistants are limited to text responses. Elysia can dynamically choose how to display data based on what makes the most sense for content and context. The system currently has 7 different display formats: generic data displays, tables, e-commerce, GitHub issues, conversations, documents, and charts. Before any Weaviate tool usage, Elysia analyzes your collection and LLM explores the data structure by sampling it, checking fields, creating summaries, generating metadata. Based on these analyses, it recommends the best display formats. The user can also manually adjust these display mappings to better suit your needs.
The third thing is Elysia's automatic data expertise. Traditional RAG systems often struggle with complex data because they don't have the full picture of the environment they're working with. So how do we fix this? After connecting your Weaviate cloud instance to Elysia, an LLM analyzes your collections to examine data structure, create summaries, generate metadata, and choose display types. This powers up Elysia's ability to handle complex queries and provide knowledgeable responses.
To show how flexible Elysia is for building real end-to-end AI applications, we use it to create our chat feature in Glowy, our Korean skincare recommendation app. Glowy looks at over 49,000 reviews and over 1,400 skincare products to help people build personalized routine based on their skin type, skin conditions and skin goals. We created 3 new custom tools for the skincare domain that you can use within Elysia's agentic decision tree system. Elysia used a query agent for finding the products with complex search filters based on their skin conditions, skin effects, and the stack generation tool for creating personalized product collections through natural language, and a similar product recommendation engine that checks ingredients, interactions, and user preferences. Elysia took care of all the complicated stuff, handling conversations, fixing errors automatically, and managing data streams so we could focus on the skincare specific features instead of building AI workflows from the scratch.
As mentioned, Elysia is built as a modern Python-first web app. The front end is served as static HTML through Fast API, so you don't need to spin up a separate node server. The back end handles the app logic, the LLM interaction layer is powered by DSPY, and retrieval is driven by Weaviate's hybrid search. But the real heart of the system is custom handwritten Python. The devs literally described it as blood, sweat, and tears code, because they wanted maximum control and transparency. And the best part? Setup is shockingly easy. You install it with pip, run a start command, drop in your Weaviate cluster details and API keys, pick your model provider, and you're live. If you're not ready to commit, there's even a free 14-day sandbox on Weaviate Cloud. Or if you'd rather stay in pure Python, you can import Elysia directly, define tools with decorators, and build your own decision trees in code. There are also little quality of life touches that make it feel polished. You can customize a blob avatar that sticks around between sessions. The UI includes a built-in data explorer where you can drill down into objects and watch the decision tree unfold in real time as the system works through your query. And in future updates, they're planning full theming and branding support so companies can reskin Elysia as an internal tool. So yes, Elysia is still in beta, but it's already shaping up to be one of the most complete and thought-through frameworks for anyone serious about building agentic AI systems. It's simple enough to get started quickly, but deep enough to support real customization. And the combination of decision trees, adaptive displays, and feedback-driven personalization makes it stand out in a way I don't think we've seen in an open-source project before. The big question is, will this become the new standard for how we interact with data, or will it fade away like so many other frameworks? I'd love to hear what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more deep dives like this, make sure you hit subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.